The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome back to Old Space Show. I am Brandon, and this is my co-captain, the old, the spacious, the Jim.
I'm going to stretch out in this old space over here.
There you go. This installment of Old Space Show continues our episode-by-episode travelogue through the second season of Space 1999, where the moon is knocked out of orbit, wandering through outer space, the population of its human-built colonies hoping to stumble upon a new home. Today, we are talking about the 22nd episode, Devil's Planet.
Answering a distress signal, Commander Koenig is forced to crash land his Eagle on Entra, moon of the planet Elna, which turns out to be the planet's penal colony, and Koenig finds himself a prisoner of the beautiful Elysia and her equally beautiful prison guards.
All right. Oh my. This one is directed by Tom Clegg, who once directed Bringers of Wonder, Parts 1 and 2, and Journey to Where?
Yeah.
Written by Michael Winder, and has guest star Hildegard Neal, Cassandra Harris, Angus McInnes, and Roy Marsden. The writer, Winder, this is his second to last writing credit ever. He had also written for The Saint and The Avengers. So coming from that wheelhouse, yep.
Well, I mean, Hildegard Neal was in Antony and Cleopatra. Yep. She was in Macbeth. A bunch of films of
loads of Shakespeare TV stuff. Yeah, It's basically like
a lot of British TV, as are a lot of the guest stars we get in this.
Yeah. That would be the equivalent of like TV. Being on like all like the superhero shows you could be on right now, like Shakespeare British TV of the like 60s, 70s.
Right.
You know, that'd probably be the equivalent now.
That's probably why all the aliens we meet speak that way.
Right. Very true. Cassandra Harris, of course, the late wife of Pierce Brosnan, who appeared in For Your Eyes Only. This is her debut performance.
Wow.
So she's one of the right left-hand women of Neil in this episode. And then McInnes was gold leader in Star Wars. Dude.
He was also in Rollerball.
Rollerball?
One of my personal favorites.
Oh, Rollerball's so great. Force 10 from Navarone, Superman 2, like hell of a career here.
It's really weird. This is the third time today I've seen Outland referred to, and that's like a movie hardly anybody's ever seen.
The Connery one
as well. Yeah, like
that's a cool one.
High Noon in Space. That is a cool movie.
We're going to talk about that sometime on the show.
Yeah,
proper.
I always thought that was part of the Alien universe just because of the way it looked. You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, he's been in a ton of movies. Judge Dredd.
Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
He was even in Rogue One as gold leader again.
Oh, that's right.
With archive footage. So yeah.
It was Eyes Wide Shut, Hellboy. Like this is good stuff.
That Angus McInnes gets around.
Yes, he's McGinnis in a lot of movies. Marsden, he appeared previously on the episode Rules of Luton as Alien Invisible.
It's quite an appearance then. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
He was also in an episode of Doctor Who, though.
Oh, yeah?
I know you like Who. Yeah, he was a 2007 episode of Doctor Who.
Okay.
Smith and Jones.
Oh, okay.
First episode of the third series.
At the introduction of Martha Jones.
That is correct.
And the Jadoon. Big rhinoceros guys. Now, I want to, before we go in here, Jim, did you notice we're about to do a stretch of 3 episode recordings in a row, folks? So they're kind of, these last 3 will be closely related. So I'm going to bring this up having seen what comes after as we record this. But they're introducing a new crew to us, aren't they?
I was going to say, This episode has, other than Koenig, there is no crew member that we see from any other. I mean, Helena's not there. Alan, Tony, Maya, none of them. And when they pan to Command Center, it's a whole different group.
We have Alibi Parson as Alibi, and Sam Dastor as Dr. Ed Spencer. Now, these people are going to come in more to play the next two, but they do get, I believe they get introduced here in this one.
Great. They got introduced right at the end of the series. That's always good.
It's like, we're going to fix this. we're going to fix this. We're going to put in some new blood here for season 3. That doesn't happen. But yeah, I was just like, wow,
really
this is a bit late. It's a bit late for this.
It's weird.
All right, so
I thought it was something that you had said before. No, I'm sorry. That we had some episodes where like Koenig and Allen were off in a Eagle somewhere for the whole episode, right?
Yeah.
We didn't see them, or somewhere. Barbara Bain was off somewhere, and back on Moonbase when something else is going on. I thought of that. Maybe they could only get Martin Landau that week, right?
Yeah, this is serious. It's a Koenig solo episode. It's like Koenig and Space Babes,
and red shirts. And alpha red shirts everywhere.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So in this one, Commander Koenig and Blake Main. Yep. Here we go. Blake Main. I love the first and last names. Like, they investigate 2 planets in Alpha's east quadrant that seem capable of supporting human life. Flying over the larger one, they land on the outskirts of a city and find the life.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry. I need to stop here for a second. They look through these viewfinders. They're like, oh, look, it's a city. It's literally just stripes.
Right, yeah.
On glass with like LEDs or something on it, moving back and forth. It is like the most simple representation that could possibly be of an aerial shot of a city. It's just really kind of like set out. It was literally just stripes in a circle. I was like, wow, okay.
Honk, honk. Listen, traffic.
Yeah, right. It's so realistic.
Yeah. So
SimCity looked better than that. I'm sorry.
Right. So they find lifeless bodies of several people lying around. As Koenig reports his findings back to Alpha, there is activity in the area of a booth. A man materializes within and exits. He dies within seconds.
Now, this looks like an isolation booth from an old game show, right?
Oh, it does. Like, yeah. He can't hear us right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we're going to ask you the questions we asked him. He's in isolation. Also, we're back in our forest soundstage. Very, very familiar surroundings for this show.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I guess they couldn't afford to go on location this week because here we are. And when they fly into the city, you kind of see like these really tall towers with domes on top. It looks very much like the Jetsons.
Yeah,
houses.
Yeah.
Like they're really high up in the air with a giant dome. Almost like the Blue Origin rocket.
Right.
But it's just hilarious to see this isolation booth surrounded by dead bodies and like, what up?
Yeah, just people just laying around.
I don't know.
Being lazy.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Ed Spencer, he recommends they leave the planet at once.
Oh, beloved character Ed Spencer.
Yes. Iconic Alphan Ed Spencer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've never laid eyes on Ed Spencer before. That's why I'm laughing.
Yes. They decided to take a look at its moon, which has a similar atmosphere and vegetation. As they get within range of the moon, their Eagle malfunctions, losing all power to its engines. They regain power in time to lessen the impact as they crash land. They survive the crash and leave the Eagle.
They use the same aerial photography slides looking over the moon as they did over the planet, I noticed.
Yeah.
And the facial expressions are great. And the crash lasts for like 5 minutes.
It does, yeah.
It's
they
like
go for it, though. I'm happy about that.
They did. The effects were great, but it's like, they show the Eagle. They show Koenig in the red shirt, like making grimace faces. Being pulled by G's. They keep going back and forth. And like the actual crash takes way longer than a normal crash would take. It was just
true.
Really, and then as they explode, as the Eagle actually explodes, this wah-wah guitar starts.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as they land, it crash. It's like, let's get out of here. Wow, 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 wow. I'm like, is that an alarm? So like an emergency alarm, the wah-wah goes off if the ship's going to blow up or something.
Space jazz.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, we're going to break out the wah-wah here at this, crucial dramatic moment.
They see a man pursued by whip-wielding woman. That's a whip-wielding woman. That's a
wow. Good job saying that too. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Women, they're dressed in like red velvet jumpsuits with like silver, like almost Egyptian collars and stuff.
Space Rome, almost like it's weird.
Almost.
Yeah.
And the red jumpsuits look like what Mork from Orc wore.
Yeah.
Like a big red onesie kind of. Although these are like 70s like dancers and showgirls.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like walking very like, they're in like 3-inch high heels and capes, hunting people.
Yeah. Well, and I like that
I don't
they're
really
like
think that's like good hunting wear,
Yeah, their helmet and armor looks like a comfy pillow. Like it doesn't like scream metallic at all.
Yeah.
Like you look at it,
right.
it's just like that's like soft and like plushy, isn't it? Like, and it's probably comforting for them for the wear, but
yeah, very shiny though.
Very shiny. So as Koenig tries to intervene, Blake steps into an electronic barrier and is vaporized. No, Blake!
Our beloved character Blake. Mm-hmm. We hardly knew ye, as they say.
Yeah. Of all the Alphans I knew, this was the most human. So Koenig is subdued by one of the women. Guard.
Not just subdued. He like gets the Taylor from Planet of the Apes treatment with the whip around the neck. He's like,
he does. Except no horse.
Right.
And a guard of the penal colony based on the moon. His mind is probed by the interrogator at the request of Elysia, the mistress of the penal colony on Entra.
I like the way they scan his mind. They have like those welding masks or the plastic welding masks or whatever. And they just like, and they have, and the funny thing is, we don't see Helena or Tony or this is like the only time we see the rest of the crew members.
Yeah, this is where we see our
when they scan his brain. It's like the flashback in his brain. It's like great.
You see Maya turning into animals, but you know who he doesn't remember? Victor Bergman.
Plus, I love the cell. The cell is like a ska fan's dream. It's all in black and white checkers. Like
I gotta give it the sets were pretty cool in this. I dug them.
Yeah, I expect the specials to come up and just start to jam and skank along.
Right.
In that room, it was great. I loved it. But yeah, you're right. That the I don't know who did the sets for this episode, but they were wild.
Did it feel like did this one feel like to you that there was more money in this like episode or just like a freedom or because it felt much better directed, like more innovative. The sets were better. Like there was something stand out.
Building or something too, right? Like in the like when they went outside to the location, they actually have like a building out there, and they kept using the same zoom on like the exact same zoom shot, but it was like a big structure they built. Yeah.
Like it felt like there was some money in this one, and they let the director kind of. I didn't get any of this out of like Bringers of Wonder or Journey to Where. Like this one had some good angles. It had some good camera pan. Like it was trying. Like I noticed that like as I was watching, I was like something's up with this. Like, and there's only Koenig, of course, like that. We talked about that, but like that could, I mean, even if they had Barbara Bain or other people, you could have directed it like this. Like I understand why.
When if you notice when the alien queen or whatever was like looking at Koenig's brain, and Tony kind of goes, "Oh, he's awfully attractive."
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm like, "Geez, thirsty space queen, come on now."
So they learned that he has been to their home planet, Alina, and knows that everyone there is dead, and those who go die. Elysia tells the interrogator to remove this knowledge from his brain. When told that he may not survive the process, she replies that he would be given a handsome funeral.
Dun, 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 commercial break.
Those matter. In an attempt to maintain some appearance of normalcy, a prisoner is returned to Alina. Krail tells Elysia that the other prisoners are wondering why no new prisoners are being sent from Alina. and why they can no longer receive video messages from their families. Elysia invades the question by stating that they are the troublemakers whose natures are to be discontent.
I didn't catch this until about 15 minutes after this part went by. This is the Running Man.
Yeah.
They're sending their prisoners to a penal colony where they're supposed to go through the hunt, right?
Yep.
And they get through the hunt, they get sent off to a paradise of their homeworld, but actually they just get killed.
Right, yeah.
It's the Running Man.
It is the Running Man. Oh,
I was
man.
like, wow.
Well,
That's pretty cool.
This is the one where the guy goes over from the booth with the mustache, and he has like the most overreactive death. Where he's like, he puts his hand on his face and his eyes get right. He's like, ooh, I'm dying. I think I'm not going to live anymore.
Oh, dear, I may expire at any moment.
Hey, I'm not long for this world. Like, yeah. So the interrogator, apparently unable to remove the information about the death on Alina from Koenig's mind, scans his memories at Elysia's request. Elysia is attracted to him and has him sent to one of the cell blocks, but warns that she doesn't want him disfigured.
Of course she's into him because he's Koenig.
Do you think did Lando have an ego that he needed to be like desired by all these women, or was like Barbara Bain like, my husband must be desired? He must.
Barbara Bain's not even in this episode though.
It's true. That's true.
Maybe it's a Freiberger thing, like you're trying to make it more like Kirk, right, with the alien babes.
Right, but they did that in season 1 though. They did that the whole Koenig. He's a suave, handsome guy in season 1 too. Like there's always every couple episodes goes away from it, but then one of them is going to bring it back to handsome Koenig or like desirable male.
It's just so funny that like first she's thirsty for Tony, then she's thirsty for Koenig.
Yes. The interrogator warns Elysia that he will tell the other prisoners about Alina. Elysia smugly asserts that they won't believe him. The interrogator advises her to tell the prisoners the truth. Elysia refuses, believing she can maintain control. They monitor the cell as Koenig wakes up. When he learns that the inmates are from Alina, or Elna. Is it Elna or Alina? I can't. Whatever.
Who cares?
That other place. Death place. Tells him what he saw. They chose not to believe him because the ramifications are
Koenig
too
is
terrible.
giving me fake news.
Fake news.
That's all I can think of. He's like, they're lying to you. They're lying. He's like, why are they lying to us? Why they wouldn't do that? Yeah. Like, oh my God.
They become angry and violent. Elysia and her guards intervene, saving Koenig. He asked that he be allowed to contact Alpha so that he can have someone come get him. Elysia tells him no, but that if he stays with her, he will experience undreamed of pleasure until she tires of him.
I wrote that down too. Undreamed of pleasure.
Tires of him.
Till she tires of him.
An eagle is detected approaching Antra. Koenig is placed behind a barrier preventing him from making his presence known. Elysia tries to dissuade Bill Fraser, he's Vizier, and Allie from landing. Yeah, so she tells him the pilots died in a crash. Fraser responds telling her that they must land to recover the bodies, and he will come in shooting if they have to. Lisa tells him that their ship systems will burn out when they come into contact with Entra's defense shield. Fraser tells her that they are coming anyway, and if they don't make it, Alpha will send more ships to blast the planet.
Boy.
Like, Bill Fraser has gone from like, oh, hell, we need to give someone Carter's lines to like straight up only recognizable Alpha that's not Koenig in this episode.
And it's martial law, according to him. According to Bill Fraser. Martial law declared by this new character that we've never seen before.
Yeah. Oh, so Elysia concedes and has her people remotely land the Eagle. Meanwhile, she has her people create evidence of Koenig's death by having a prisoner wear Koenig's uniform and walk out to the defense screen and disrobe. But before he can, Elysia activates the shield, vaporizing him to create shock. He contacts her saying she went against her promise not to do such a thing. She replies that it was a matter of survival.
Did she specifically promise not to put alien clothes on someone and then kill him to frame him for someone's death?
Right.
I'm like, really? Okay.
Right. So when Fraser and Alibi land, they are taken to the crash site. Elysia explains that though the crew survived the crash, they stumbled into the boundary deficiencies. She shows them the remains at each point of impact. Disheartened, they return to their Eagle and lift off as Koenig watches from the window of his cell.
And it's so funny. First of all, they gave Koenig his own little jumpsuit as well with all this shiny stuff, but it's blue because he's a dude.
Yeah.
And he's at this plexiglass window pounding, Fraser, help! Hey, I'm up here! And they keep using the same zoom shot on, I guess where we're supposed to think the window is,
right,
on the big building, and they pull away. And obviously they're not going to hear him, right? Mm-hmm. But they just keep doing that. They do it 2 or 3 times. Koenig yelling, Fraser, and then they same pull away zoom. And then Koenig, I'm just like, we get it. We get what he's trying for. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good night. I love it. I love that Koenig's his shirt has a rip open in the chest.
Yeah, bare chest.
So those Landau pecs.
Let the pecs breathe, man. I guess this these Elysia must have ordered some shredded beef.
Yeah.
Here comes ripped Koenig.
Yeah. Oh, and that that chest hair. Oh, can't have enough. Can't have enough.
He's quite a specimen.
Yes. So he is brought before Elysia, who is waiting for him in an alluring gown. He notices. Yeah, she is down to clown right there.
I thought it was so funny they bring him in. He's in his shiny blue jumpsuit, right? That they give him as an alien jumpsuit. They bring him in. She's moved on to evening wear.
Yes. Oh God. Oh. So he notices a twin of the booth he saw on Elna. Elysia follows his gaze and tells him the trans-beamer is the dream that every prisoner on Entra wishes to attain. Koenig argues that the dream just leads to certain death. Elysia replies that it gives the prisoners hope. She then tells him that his remaining alive depends on his entertainment quotient. Yeah. He kisses her and makes a break for the door. After a quick scuffle, he gets away. Elysia holds her guards back from pursuing too quickly, as the hunted are always given a fair chance.
Koenig's on the hunt now, or being hunted now.
Yeah, he's on the run. The deadliest game.
This is where he quoted Orwell too. He kept saying doublethink.
Mm-hmm.
To Elysia, right? He's like, right? That's what we call a doublethink on our planet. I'm like, all right, cool Orwell rough, dude. All right. Mm-hmm.
Base 99 knows his stuff. Yeah. Koenig heads for the Eagle with hopes of either contacting Alpha or getting a weapon. Achieving neither, he grabs a homing transmitter and drops it out of an emergency hatch in the cockpit as the guards appear in the passenger module. He fights off several of the guards, heads back toward the prison.
Wait a minute. He got a fire extinguisher, though.
He did.
I kept thinking, if this is for Battle Royale, that would be his weapon, fire extinguisher.
Oh, it would, yes.
That's what he got.
Elysia alerts the interrogator to hold him when he gets there. He maneuvers to put himself by the trans-beamer. He steps in as Elysia arrives. She tells him she will disintegrate him if he doesn't step out. He points out that if she does, it will destroy the only means back to Elna. This not only affecting the prisoners, but the guards who are nearing the end of their tour of duty stays Elysia's hand. Krail asks Koenig if the rumors he heard are true that everyone on Elna is dead. Koenig tells him it's true. Elysia asks why would he want to go there if everyone were dead. He says to get away from her brand of torture.
Yes. Yeah, that undreamed of pleasure is torturous.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like the Monty Python sketch with Galahad.
Right.
Monty Python,
I'm ready to face the torture.
Just a little peril, please.
Just a little peril. He tells them that if he is lying, Elysia can follow him and bring him back, then activates the trans-beamer. Elysia says that Elna will send him back. Krail counters saying, not if he's telling the truth. And then we don't have a jokey epilogue, Jim.
No, it's like the no ending this time.
Right.
It's like no real ending. It just kind of stopped.
Yeah. Elysia looks for support for her position from the interrogator or Krail, but there is none. Clinging to her lies, she steps into the transbeamer to avoid the wrath of what's left her people. Koenig exits the transbeamer and activates the homing device he took from the Eagle en route back to Alpha. Fraser and Alibay receive the signal. Alibay confirms it's coded for the commander's Eagle, and they head to Elna to investigate.
I gotta say, I'm never gonna ever get tired of seeing the Eagles do a hard right turn in space.
No.
It's the best.
It is awesome. It's legit.
It's no cap. I love it.
Yeah. So true. So Elysia materializes in the transbeamer, much to Koenig's surprise. Intent on revenge, her only satisfaction comes from her belief that she will kill Koenig before she dies. She fires her weapon twice, narrowly missing him both times. Before she can fire again, the airborne pathogen that killed the people of Elna takes hold of Elysia. She dies the same quick death of all those she allowed to return home. Fraser and Alibay arrive to return Koenig to Moonbase Alpha. And nobody laughs.
Like nobody
laughs.
There's no denouement. There's nothing. They just stop and it's done. And like, this was also a great death scene here. The actress playing Elysia.
Oh yeah.
She's kind of like, it's almost like she was playing freeze tag and someone attacked her and she fell down.
This is true. But yeah, she totally she doubles down on stupid and tries to keep her lie alive. And well, no, it's not going to happen. But we don't know what the people back on her planet think, or the moon. But that's for another day. We follow the adventures of John Koenig, not what happens on Elna or whatever. Or whatever. Entra. Something.
Entra or Elna, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
It's very confusing.
So this wasn't too bad. This is felt like some different territory.
You can't go wrong with space vixens with whips, dude. Come on.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's a plus. It adds a star value right there.
Yeah, if I saw, they should women cosplay it, even dudes cosplay. I'd be like, from Devil's Planet, Space 1999. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, sure. We would be the only two people that would know that, but great.
Yeah. It's a nice look. Yes. But no, this is all right. This is all right. I would bet. I really appreciated. Technically, seemed like they were trying more than most episodes.
That's true.
Having just Koenig allowed some other things to get fleshed out, including our villain and some side characters, and it
that we've never seen before.
That we'd never seen before, but it felt like a fully formed idea, fully satisfying adventure. I mean, I know that's a low bar to be like, they told a complete story. But no, I mean, just in terms of doing it well, this one was on the higher end.
It's a decent idea, and they executed on it fairly well. And
yeah,
hey, like I said, Stephen King stole it like a decade later for The Running Man. So
yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, this is where it came from. But lots of things come from Space 1999, as we're finding. Yeah. All right. But that'll do it for another Moonbuggy adventure. In the meantime, Jim, where can people find you when you're not 1999ing?
Well, every week I'm on Nothing's On with Daryl Taylor and Donnie Salvo at the Taylor Network of Podcast.com. Every Sunday morning we record our own knuckleheaded look at the world of entertainment, news, movies, TV, and whatnot. And we put it out on Monday morning and start your week with something funny and fun. It's Nothing's On Podcast at TaylorNetworkOfPodcast.com. Also, next week, we're going to be recording a new episode of The Walking Dead TV podcast because The Walking Dead is back on the air. And we have been the only podcast to be with the show from the very beginning, and we will be the only podcast standing at the end. It's The Walking Dead TV podcast. Catch it at hhwlod.com.
Congrats on not getting bit.
Not yet.
Or at least you were hiding it very well. You hit it very well.
I have this baseball bat wound with barbed wire that helps. So
gotcha. Very cool. Very, very seal loose thing. All right. Hashtag Elna or Elena? Hashtag do you care? And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon4KUHD, written work at whysoblue.com. There's more from the Brandon Peters Show this week, but until then,
Alpha out.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.